What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we created this wide log flume for Toogii Land, with its main sort of feature being this volcano right here. Again, I cannot take full credit for it. It was created by somebody else. I just made some slight modifications to it. And we're going to be making some slight modifications to the whole ride today. But of course, the thumbnail has probably already given away what our main goal is going to be. We'll get to that momentarily. The first thing that I want to do is something I forgot to do previously, which is just extend Zone 4 here so that it also encompasses this new ride. Otherwise, our mechanics, they're not going to have any clue what's going on. You know, we kind of need someone to service the thing and repair it when it inevitably breaks down. So that's it. We're done. Let's move on to the next thing. Okay, we have a little bit more to do. If you take a look here on the inside, the queue is very full. Apparently, I didn't really make it long enough. So we're going to pause things, delete what we have so far, and then probably get rid of a lot of these power generators. We found out there at the tail end of things, we don't really need that much power for this ride. In fact, we only really need maybe 2 of those. So moving those around a little bit should give us slightly more room to have a little bit longer queue in there. I still don't think it's very pretty, but it's definitely a heck of a lot longer than it used to be. I also didn't realize how many floating rocks and beach cabbages we had around the exterior of it. So I've kind of lowered all that down as well. I think it looks considerably better than it used to, but let's hit play so all of these guests that were in line can be reset to the exits. Oh, wait. Do they get reset to the main entrance? That's a bit of an oopsie. Sorry, guys. I could, like, manually pick y'all up and bring you back over there, but that seems like a lot of work. Is this another ghost notification? Where are they at? No, you're good. You're good. I just don't think they probably realized that the path had been replaced. So this is our new exit path. We have 2 generators, 1 distributor. That should be more than enough power. It's producing, well, it says 130. We're fine. We're fine. It's good, right? This thing has plenty of power to keep running. Beautiful. Oh yeah, power used 116. That's why it's so little. All right, so now that we have that finished up, I just want to add a bit more additional scenery around the ride. I think that'll really help it. But all these trees out here currently, we kind of just have to get rid of because they don't really match our resort theme whatsoever. That already looks so much better. So using our handy dandy little scenery paintbrush tool, I'm just gonna brush in some foliage, and we should be good to move on to the next big project. I'm talking big, all right? All right. See, now it doesn't look near as out of place as it used to when it had just nothing around it at all. And something else that I noticed as I was placing the plants, or I guess painting the plants around, is I think just by relaunching the game today, it's gotten rid of all those weird support track pieces that were like kind of getting in the way of the water. You know what I'm saying? If you watched the previous episode, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but I think it looks a lot better just because of that too. The very last thing that we need to add to it though is a trash can. Now it's not a super nauseating ride, but somebody's gonna yak stepping off of this thing. I just know it. So let's move on now to the main attraction for today, and that is of course going to be some go-karts. My idea for this stems from many spring break vacations as a kid to Gulf Shores, Alabama. Maybe some of you have heard of it. There's a place there called The Track that, go figure, based off the name, has a bunch of different go-kart tracks. So what I want to try to do is recreate some of those tracks out in this area. Now, I've already hopped on Google Earth. I've got plenty of reference images. It seems very doable, but everything always seems doable in Planet Coaster until you try to do it. So we have to do a little bit of testing first. We need to figure out whether or not we can create a pit lane, right? A lot of the tracks, you don't circle back through the starting line. There's like a separate piece of track for that. So let's just see if we can make that work. That's gonna be a negative Ghost Rider. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like you can get two separate track pieces to kind of merge together into one, which does kind of throw a wrench into my plans. So the carts do have to go back through the start-stop line. We're gonna have to make some slight adjustments to the track layout then, but I still think it's doable. Maybe. Here goes nothing. I'll put some reference images on the screen for you guys so you can kind of get a feel for what it is we're trying to make. The first one is uninspiringly called Main Track. They're not very creative with the names, but we'll see how this goes. I don't think that this is bad, especially for a first attempt, but you see what I'm saying, right? The real track does have a piece that kind of connects from here over into this area. That way the carts can kind of keep looping around without ever having to go back through the start-stop every single lap. But we're going to make it work. These are the cards that we've been dealt, you know? I'm surprised with how close it really looks, though. I mean, this part over here is a little too long. I don't think the track really extends much further than like the edge of the station right there. And the bridges might be too high up. So I'm going to try to tweak it just a little bit further, and we'll see what we end up with.
1 hour later.
Took a little longer than I was expecting. The AC/DC in me wasn't going to be satisfied until it was absolutely perfect. It's never going to be truly accurate though, since we can't really run the whole pit lane setup, but we're at a point now to where I'm finally happy with it. I even added some railing in over the elevated bits. You know, safety is a top priority here at Toogii Land, which is exactly why we have a slide that launches our guests into the air. So all we have to do now is try to find a good spot for it. We'll worry about power and testing and all that sort of stuff later, but let's move on to the next one. I wasn't able to find the name of it anywhere online, and honestly, it's been so long since I've been there, I don't even remember what it was called. But since this one was called Main Track, I would imagine this guy was like Track 2 or something similar. But we're gonna have to take some more creative liberties with this design as well, because as you'll probably see on the screen, it utilizes 3 bridges and is kind of a multiple figure 8 type shape, also utilizing that same sort of pit lane thing. So we'll see what happens. To be honest, I don't even think we have to edit this one any further, dude. It's perfect. I mean, it's about as close as we can get to the actual design. And it was really easy to construct because it's basically just a bunch of 45-degree turns, but we do technically have the 3 bridges, though the last one here was really just a last-ditch effort to try to bring the carts back around and into the station again. The only other thing that I think it needs is some railing on the elevated bits. Other than that, I think we're ready to move on to the final track. This is another one where the name escapes me and I couldn't find any information about it online, but I do remember having to wait several years until I was tall enough to be able to go on it. And let me tell you, it was well worth the wait. It's got like these 2 spiraling figure 8 towers, and I remember the towers being made out of wood, like the track was made out of wood, but when I'm looking at it on the satellite image, it's definitely asphalt or some other type of pavement. So I don't know if that's one of those things where I remember it one way, but in reality, it had never been that way. There's a name for that, but it also escapes me. Anyways, we're gonna see what we can do here.
Bruh.
You're joking, right? I don't know how I didn't notice this before. Even from the satellite image, it totally looks phallic. Dude, what is going on? We have so many different creations in this park that look some type of way. You know what? It's fine. It's totally fine. I am really happy, apart from the overall shape of it, I am really happy with the way that it turned out, and I didn't have to take too many creative liberties with this one like some of the other designs. The only thing that I decided to change is I added the chicane bit here because going off the satellite image again, it just seems like this area's kind of boring. Though if I remember right, these were the fastest carts that this place, the track, had to offer. So probably didn't need a chicane IRL, but I added it in because the long straight is just it's a little dull. It's a little dull even for my taste. The only thing that we really need to change with this is once again just add some railing around these elevated bits here, and we can try to find a spot for it too. Now that we have all 3 of our go-kart tracks in place, we need to get some power run out here so we can test these suckers. I'm thinking we'll just put a simple distributor somewhere around each station just to get us going. With our power situation now under control, we're going to move on to our entrance and exit paths. The exits are going to be super simple. Just bring it straight out till it connects up to the main path. And then our queues are going to be the usual sort of serpentine shape. We'll try to make them as long as possible because I'm hoping that these are going to be pretty popular with the guests. As for the stations for each of these, I think we're going to tackle that in the next episode because this one's already run a bit long.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, the queues might be overkill just slightly. It's a temporary placeholder, right? We can always change a path. It's really not that big of a deal. But let's see what we can change with these bad boys. First things first, our finances. Ticket price, it's got to be free 99. It's just got to be. Pretty much everything else in the entire park. Actually, let's just do one at a time. Pretty much everything else in the entire park is free 99 after all. They're kind of paying when they arrive. They're paying on arrival. We're not going to do priority pass just yet. We can worry about that later. Staff should be hired once the ride is open. Prestige is bad, but it also hasn't been tested, so we can check that out again. Can we add more cars? Oh, no, you can get rid of a few. I like the idea of 12 cars or carts running around at the same time. We'll change this to full load. I don't think we need to change anything with that. Lapping operation for sure. It doesn't say how many laps though. Unless it does. Oh, now it does. Now that we've changed that. So let's go for this one. Let's go 3 laps. I feel like 3 laps should be more than enough. And then is there anything else we need to change? Colors and stuff, we can probably do that when we finish the whole station and everything. We're gonna need like some terrain adjustment around all of these as well. We gotta make the bridges look a little bit nicer. We'll get to that. We will get to that. So let's just go around and make the same changes now to the other 2. We could just open them up straight away, but I'd kind of like to test all 3 of them first so that we can get a more accurate prestige on these things. There we go. Now if we hit play, we're gonna have some test dummies taking these things around. This is the one I really want to watch. This one or this one's pretty sick too. Yo! Okay, the test dummies do not know how to drive whatsoever. It'd be nice if we could like adjust the speed of them too. Make this one, you know, for people like me when I was younger, you have to be this tall in order to get on this one. But make that one really fast, this one like medium speed, and then this one like low speed. I feel like that would be kind of cool. Yeah, they just keep spinning out. Dude, this ain't a drift competition, my guy. Get it together. I don't know if 3 laps on this one was the right call either, because this track is definitely the longest of all 3 of them. I think. I do want to see how they perform through the chicane. You don't have to turn that wide, my guy. Just shoot down the middle. Oh my God. See, I wish we could get behind the wheel. Maybe we can. We used to be able to do that in the original Planet Coaster. I don't know if they've changed something here or not. Polarity has broken down. Okay, mechanics. Are you sleeping on the job? What's going on? Do you at least have one nearby? It looks like, yeah, we do have one on it. On the case. All right, this one is already finishing up. We've got that poor guy in last place, pulling back in. Oh no, he was number 1. Keep going. You got a ways to go. Yeah, this is your spot up here. Got number 3 coming back in. And it looks like that one is just finishing as well. Oh, they're gonna run another test. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Prestige 184. It actually didn't improve whatsoever. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and open it up. Maybe it'll improve once a couple of guests get on and get off the thing. This one as well, we can just open up straight away. Surprisingly, the prestige didn't change on any of them, but that's okay. I'm still pretty confident that these are going to be popular among the guests. Maybe.
2 very boring minutes later.
So far, we have 1 guest. We have 1 kid. He's still got his goggles on. Dude, you at least have to change your clothes before you can get on the go-karts. He doesn't care. Oh, okay, now he cares. Now he's like, wait, I'm not dressed appropriately. I'm hoping also that this cable car system will start to see a couple more guests like getting off here since they are so close to the go-karts. I'm pretty sure in Planet Coaster 1, didn't we have to like rename a guest to something specific in order to actually drive, like get behind the wheel and drive the go-karts? After a quick Google search, I didn't see anything like that for this game, for Planet Coaster 2. So if you know, let me know down in the comments. I'm very, very curious. I'd love to go around some of these tracks, dude. The nostalgia for me would be insane. Finally, we finally have just 3 guests so far making their way through the queue. The shortest queue as well. That's not really a surprise. People could be turning away as soon as they approach these queues just because they are so incredibly long. Didn't really think about that. Let's see what these people do though. They're in. They are in. Wait. Oh no, dude, they're already going. I missed it. That's okay. It's a multi-lap race. We're all good. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can steer or anything. Hopefully. Oh. Spun out. Spun out again. Hopefully there is a way for us to be able to get behind the wheel of these though. Like I said, the nostalgia would just be unreal, honestly. And I think we'd be able to go around the whole track without spinning out like some of these people are. But they've got good speed. Coming around the turn. Don't spin out, don't spin out, don't spin out. Nice. Hang on. We might be witnessing a full lap here without a single spin out. I just jinxed him by saying that, didn't I? Yep. There it is. Same spot, too. It's like he didn't learn his lesson. I'm really happy, really happy with the way that all 3 of these tracks came out, especially this one. It was super easy to construct, and I don't know, it might be my favorite. It just kind of looks the coolest, in my opinion. But on that note, unfortunately, that is where we're gonna have to wind things down at for today. Once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.